Okay, good morning, Ibu Ayu.
Yeah, morning, Pak.
All right, so today we will have like a short practice for IELTS speaking, Ibu, and then
Okay,
we will check all aspects of part one, part two, and part three for IELTS speaking. And then we will use the same rules for part one. You will need to answer some questions, including introducing yourself, and then some related questions. For part two, you will be given a topic, and then you will have 1 minute to prepare for the topic, and then you need to say something related to the topic. For part three,
okay,
um, I will ask some more abstract but related questions to either part one or part two. So, and everything should be about 15 to 16 minutes in general, and then we will have like a short discussions on the topic. All right. So, are you ready?
yes, I
Okay.
think I'm
All right.
ready.
So I have like five cue cards here. Um, just a second. Let me prepare the timer as well. Timer on my time. Make sure that we can track our time. All right. And then we will get it. All right. Okay. I'm ready with my notes as well. Uh, yep. All right. Can we study, bro? Let
Should
me.
I should I prepare pencil and paper,
Yes.
Pak?
Yes, please. Uh,
Wait, actually I'm just arrived my home.
okay.
Okay,
Must be very nice to see the family.
yeah,
Oh, okay, so I prepared timer here. For part one, it will be about 4 to 5 minutes, and then we will continue with part two later on. All right, Ibu, I will start it now. Thank you so much, Bu Ayu. Could you introduce yourself first?
okay. My name is Ayu Rosidagan. Currently, I'm working as a lecturer at Polytechnic Negeri Jakarta. My major is in network and informatics. I've been teaching for around 6 years.
Thank you so much, Bu
And
Ayu. Yes. Anything else?
that's all.
All right. Can you explain what are some of your responsibilities, Ibu Ai?
My responsibilities in my work. There are three main parts. The first one is I must teach some of subjects, kinds of computer networking and architecture computer and so on. The second one, I must do research. Usually, I do research collaboration with some industry also and my students, of course. And the third one is I must give uh, like social activities with some village maybe or some company near my campus. Sorry, I can hear your voice.
Sure, Ibu.
Okay. Okay, it's already. Yes, no.
Sorry, how do you like your job?
Maybe now I really enjoy my job, but when I first when I first joined my campus, it's kind of a little bit shocked because I never imagined that there are a lot of things should lecturer done. Uh, on the past, I think lecturer is only to give material on the class, give material on the class, but now I know that more than that, more than just arrive on every class, meet the students, but also uh, my university push me to have a lot of collaboration with industry companies, and also I have to meet with
Okay. All right. What can you tell us what is a typical day at work? How and what did you do in a daily basis in your school, in your university? Hello. Hey, hello, Ibu.
sorry, I think I have
That's okay.
yeah, connection error. So I will continue
Yes, please.
my explanation.
Yes,
So
please.
I divided into two times each day. The first one is for regular regular class, for just teaching the class and students, and for afternoon I go with my research stuff. That is my general daily basis. And also in on the weekend, if it is needed, I go to my campus also for doing some administrative things, kind of uh, PKD, like how to they score me as as their employer.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Ibu. That's for part one. So we'll continue with part two. Just a second. Um, so in part two, I will give you a topic, and then you will have 2 minutes to prepare for this topic. And then after that, you will have 2 minutes, sorry, 1 minute to prepare for the topic, and then 2 minutes for second. I will share it the prompt just to make it easier. This one. Okay. Can you see this prompt, Ibu?
Yes, it's
All right.
about
Perfect.
this long.
So, okay. So this is the prompt. Describe a character in a TV program or in a film you like. You should say who the character is, when you first saw the TV program or film, what kind of person the character is, and explain why you like this character. All right. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yep. So I will give you 1 minute to prepare for this prompt. 1 minute starts now. All right. So, now I will share the timer so you can track your time. Okay, Ibu. All right. So I will give you 2 minutes, and then you can talk about this topic, and then you can also use your notes. So you can start now, Ibu.
Okay, thank you. One of my favorite films, as I can remember, is Harry Potter. I watched it when I was in junior high school, maybe. So this film is picked from a series of novel. Uh, and this novel come up on the film maybe when I was in senior high school, and it will be some series of it too. So Harry Potter is a student of magical schools. So he is gift has a special gift that uh, to make anything, or there some specific characterize that he could magical happen. And on that school, he he has some best friends, Ron and Hermione. These three friends going along together, and they have a big enemy also. It's called Voldemort. So this is one of negative negative human on their schools. So they have to they have to make a strategy how to remove, or uh, how to destroy this Voldemort. And I love this kind of movies because there are a lot of good scenery, good environment that I can see. So I feel like I can join or entering a new environment that is very magical. Uh, and yeah, okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Ibu. Right. That's for part two. So we will continue with part three. Just a second. In part three, I will ask some questions related to more abstract thing related to the part two. So just a second. Let me start a timer. So is there violence in that particular movie, Ibu?
Sorry,
Is
sorry,
there
what?
violence in that particular movie?
Is there? Do you mean kinds of breaking
Vi-
the rules?
Violence.
Yes.
Yeah. Is there any violence in that particular movie?
Mm, yes, because that do you think that do you mean violence with duplicate one from the original?
No, the violence meaning the violence happening in that particular movie. Is there any violence scene, action,
Oh,
thing like that?
yeah, yeah. Uh, this movie is a uh, fiction movie. So the scene is maybe not necessary in our daily activity. I hope it is. And there are a lot of war in the a lot of war scenes in this movie.
Okay.
So yeah, I think it will be a lot of violence.
Okay. Right. Do you think which one do you think have more violence, films or TVs, Ibu?
Mm, for nowadays,
Mhm.
I think it could be regularly seen on television. But once it came up on the movie, somehow it could bring a big issues. from the audience because in especially for the Indonesian audience, it's very concerned about the ethics or something like that.
Okay. Right. Um, Related to Indonesian movie, what do you think is a stark contrast between Indonesian movie and Hollywood movie?
The most contrast, I think, is about the technique and the quality of the movie. So from Hollywood movies, there are they give a very good quality of picture and videos also, and they have a lot of technology for making a fantasy movie is more spectacular, I think. So, since generally I always choose the Hollywood movie better than the Indonesian movie. Also, in Indonesian movie, usually we can watch it later in TV programs or in the platform channel for free. But Hollywood movie is kind of a limited time that schedule on cinema only. So, uh, particularly, I love the Hollywood one, and there are a lot of things that spectacular for me.
Okay. So you like movies related written or made using a digital technology, for example. Why do you like movies using digital technology like the one in Hollywood?
Uh, Maybe it's me because of my academic background. I'm from informatics technology background, so I think when I watch a lot of scenes with technology one, I feel it's very incredible and it can hypnotize me and somehow it can inspire me to make a new research, a new thing with my material of my class. Also, a lot of technology, a lot of movies with a technology feature, it can be related with my subject in my campus.
Okay.
So I can make a link with my material.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Ibu. I think that's enough for part three. And then so based on your performance in part one, part two, and part three, what do you think uh is your strength?
Maybe my fluency is uh, okay.
Uh-huh.
I don't think I have a lot of strength in speaking Nanang. So I don't know. I think today is not a best
Right.
best
Right.
performance of
Actually, it's a bit you are very lucky to have like a topic which is quite related to something you like. For example, you have like the channel you can channel between your background from informatics engineering, is it informatic engineering, to that particular topic in part two and part three. So if you can elaborate more, you will have like, more positive points, I think. That
oh,
would be really good. The way we need to, just to make a channel, how to make this one, the channel this one, make it easier for you. That would be good thing. I just know in the part three that you have like background which is related to that particular topic. For example, when I ask you the question, why do you like movie made with the digital technology? So if you can, come earlier with that particular relationship, that will be easier for you to convince the examiner. Okay.
yeah, okay.
Now, another question. What could be things which you can improve, Ibu, from your speaking, I think?
I think I must find it a lot of particular vocabulary from each
Mm.
field or each kind.
True.
Uh, that one that I I really hard to find it when it was in part two. Part two, I really have to make a lot of keywords from movies and film. I
I
want to,
yeah,
yeah. And from the part three also, I a little bit confused about the violence. So I think that's a big, yeah,
I do
big
agree with
part.
your comment, your self feedback, Ibu, that we need more, expressions or words, specific terms, or probably even idioms. I cannot see idioms in the particular speaking, but then at least you can use expressions or vocabulary specific to this topic. It will be easier for you. I think during that 1 minute to prepare in part two, you can also list the keywords and then use that keywords for your part two as well as part three. So try to, use that particular words. And also for part two, I think we need to focus more on, let me share this one. Just a second. I will stop and then share this prompt. Uh, so the topic would be describe a character in a TV program or in a film you like. So the key point would be the character of that particular person. So in this case, if you, for example, choose Harry Potter, then you need to focus more on the character. Give example of how the character, for example, the righteousness, bravery, or something. You
Okay.
can also mention a scene probably, rather than introducing Ron, Hermione, Lord Voldemort. You can do not introduce too many characters. Just focus on one. Probably you like Harry Potter a lot. Describe the Harry Potter. It is in that particular movie, and then this is what I like. The character description of the character probably could be physical, could be psychological or attitude or something else. And then example would be really good things in it. For example, when he fights against, you mentioned about there are many war happening in that particular movies, um, but then we need to slightly give an example that would be strengthen. They will be able to strengthen your case, I think.
Okay.
Right. Okay. That's all I think. You have a lot of improvement, Ibu. I am pretty sure that with weekly practice like this one, you will you will improve your ability to get like 7 or 8 bands, I think.
Yeah, I wish I wish the same.
Uh,
Thank you, Pak. Thank
all
you
right,
for the advice.
so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ibu Ayu. Okay.
Oke, I leave ya, Pak.
Yes, please. Prima, Pak. Oh, di luar. Okay. All right. Bentar Ibu. Mohon maaf Ibu, bisa dengar suara saya?
Yes, sir. It's
Oke,
very clear.
okay. Thank you so much. Jadi suka. Let me turn it up. Alright, baik. Ibu Ayu, thank you so much for joining us today. We will have like a short practice, speaking practice on part one, part two, and part three as a speaking progress. And then we'll discuss a little bit after that, just to follow up the practice given during the weekly meeting. And then we'll discuss what could be what should be done to improve our speaking, IELTS speaking. Is it okay, Boo?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. So I have few cards here. Card number 2, 3, 4, and 5. Which one do you choose?
Four, maybe.
4. Okay, good. This is just random selection. Don't worry too much. It's making sure that we are prepared. Oh, all right. So we will you will have like a 15 about 15 minutes practice. 4 to 5 minutes for part one, which contain introduction and some basic questions about you to get to know the candidates better. Part two, in part two, you will be given a topic, and then you will have 1 minute to prepare for the topic. And after that, you will need to talk for about 2 minutes. In part three, we have some abstract questions, something a little bit more analytical, and it is related to part two. Is it clear enough, Ibu?
Yes, it's clear, sir.
Okay, right. Okay, so I will put the timer here so we can track our time. Okay, all right. So I will start the questions now. Okay, Ibu, Bu Ayu, could you introduce yourself?
Okay, my name is Ayu Anggraini Sibarani. I'm originally from Cirebon, but now I'm living in Purwokerto because my work at Universitas Jenderal Sudirman as a faculty member in Department of Industrial Engineering, to be specific, in Industrial Engineering study program.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Ibu. Ibu, could you tell us a little bit of changes have taken place in your hometown in the last 20 years? What changed during this last 20 years in your hometown?
Well, to be honest, I don't follow the changes very much in my hometown. But as far as I know, there's many new buildings, especially in shopping malls that built up for about 20 years so far now. Besides that, is the infrastructure changed a lot in
Okay.
my hometown. There are many new um, ways, like highways, to connect my hometown to another part of city. Yeah, because my hometown is besides Central Java and
Mhm.
West Java. So
Mhm.
there's many changes in terms of infrastructure there.
Okay. All right. In addition to changes happening in your hometown in the last 20 years, let's move a little bit. Has your life changed in the last 10 years, Ibu? And if so, in what ways?
Oh, okay, yeah. It- I have uh I have dramatically changed in my life actually since last 10 years. Especially in my job.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh I graduated about 5 years ago from my graduate program, postgraduate, I mean. And then it's a big chance to in the field of job as
Mhm.
a lecturer. I I felt shocked with the new environments from educational situations to practical job. Yeah, I must cope with new teams, new peoples, new cultures because
Mm.
I used to live in West Java and now I work in Central Java, which is has different culture actually. So yeah,
Mhm.
I said I have significantly changed in
Mhm.
10 years now.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ibu. Uh, is there anything um different? Sorry, is there any difference between your life from the life of your parents? Your parents live in West Java, right? And
Yes.
you are living in Central Java. Is there any differences in your life and your parents' lives?
Um, I don't think it's too much. Yeah, there's no, yeah, I said there's no big difference between my parents with my life actually because my parents is also moved to one another place to another
Mm.
place since they were young actually. My father was from North Sumatra and then moved to West Java. My mother from West Java to Central Java. So little bit I know the culture, but yeah, to adapt more is need effort. I said like that.
Okay, right. Um, Last questions. Is there anything you would like to change in your life at the moment, Ibu?
For my daily life, I don't think so. But if I speak about education, yes, I want to pursue more higher educations, especially in doctoral degree.
Mm. All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Ibu. Now we are moving to part two. In part two, I will give you a topic and then you will have about 1 minute to prepare for the topic. You can take notes if you are if you feel like you need to take notes. And then after that, you will need to begin your speaking for about 2 minutes based on your topic, preferred topic. If necessary, there will be follow-up questions on this
Mm.
one. All right. So let me share the cue cards, make it easier for you to prepare. Okay. Can you check this one?
Okay.
Yes, it's clear. So this is your prompt. Describe a historical building. You should say what it is and where it is, when it was built, and what kind of building it is, and explain why you like to talk about this historical building. Ibu, your time to prepare is about 1 minute, begins now. All right. Okay. Now, um, let me reshare the timer. Okay, Boo. Now I will give you 2 minutes, and you can talk about this particular topic. You can start now again.
Okay, I want to talk about one of famous historical building in my hometown known as Keraton Kesepuhan, or you can say it's Royal Palace. It's built in Cirebon. Um, uh, but I don't know when the exact time of this building was built. But as far as I know, it maybe has been 600 years old. The building is built. Um, Royal Palace is a place where the sultans live with their royal family, but it also has another functions as place to as a government office at that time, as far as I know. It's beautiful and full of ancient architecture, which is mixed between Chinese and Western architecture. As far as I remember, when the last time I go there, it's very, very deeply connect to me when I visit that place, and I know more about my culture actually from that historical building. And yeah, it's helped me to relax also to go to that uh, historical building. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Ibu. 2 minutes. Thank you so much, Ibu. We can move to part three.
Yes.
In part three, I will give you some questions, and it should be about 4 to 5 minutes. This, let me reset the timer. Okay. Now, these questions usually related to part two question. So the first question, how do people in your country feel about protecting historical buildings?
Wow, it's
Okay.
such a hard questions. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not expert on that
Mhm,
field actually,
mhm,
but as far as I know, people in my country nowadays is lack of interest in keeping or preserve some historical building, and it's also not supported by the government. Sometimes the government itself who try to destroy these historical sites that we have so far. Yeah, so I would say that we have little uh, concerns about our roots, yeah, by preserving historical building.
Next, do you think an area or a region can benefit from having interesting historical place like the one in Cirebon? And if they will have benefits, in what way the benefit will be? Ibu?
Um, could you repeat one more time the questions? I didn't
Yeah,
get the first
yes.
part.
Do you think an area can benefit from having interesting historical building? And if they can have any benefit, in what way the benefit will be?
Yeah, I said probably it's give more advantageous if the one area have historical building or have historical sites, because it's also have the help their incomes. Yeah, historical building, historical site becomes the object of tourism for
Hmm.
some area, so they can get income from that historical building or sites and things like that.
Okay. Um, do you think the historical places or building will still, be preserved in the future, or everything will be destroyed in the future, Ibu?
To be honest, I'm not sure. Maybe in several countries, there will be still some of preserve a building or place with an historicals, because yeah, the peoples in that place was uh try to keep their own historical, but I would say in Indonesia maybe it will lose much in the future, because yeah, we know nowadays government, even government, not try to keep that historical building well. They're not finance about the maintenance for the building or the place. Yeah, that's, in my opinion, it will be not long last before it's totally gone.
Okay. Are there any other way people can learn about history apart from learning from school and apart from learning from this building?
Yeah, I think there are several ways to learn history besides from formal educations. We can learn from movie, or from some cultural exchange with another country, because yeah, as far as I know, Westerns more know about our history rather than us. Yeah, especially peoples in Netherlands, they know more our history rather our citizens. So yeah, I think we can maybe make exchange with, in terms of kind like uh, a visiting study or field study like that.
All right. Okay. All right. That's all, Ibu, for part three. Thank you so much. Okay. Just quick discussions on this speaking performance, Ibu. In your own opinion, what do you think is your strength, which you have shown in that part one, two, and three?
My strength, I'm not aware of my strength. I am always aware of my uh, lack of something.
I
Yeah.
think your strength, this is but just my opinion. Your strength would be that you have a lot potential to connect the topic to your background. So, for example, when you choose about Royal Palace in Cirebon, since you are from Cirebon, you have extra potential to show us about that one because you have a historical building related to it. Take another example. For me, for example, I'm from Malang, and we do not have like a strong historical building which persists until now. There are several chandis, chandi and temples and so on, but then it's really not maintained well. So you have a lot of potential in that particular topics, and I think you have you have indicated some, keywords, familiarity with keywords, terms in that particular topics. So it is good enough for the examiner to assess you because it's easier for them because you introduce a lot of related words or vocabularies in it. On the other hand, what do you think is your weakness from that performance, Ibu?
And sometimes I always hesitate when I talk.
Okay,
So there's so many poses I do.
okay, okay,
Besides
okay,
that, yeah, tenses and grammatical always
okay,
is my problem.
okay. In my assessment, I think the tenses and grammatical is fine. You can use present tense in many cases when you talk about your topics. So generally, for topic two and topic three, you keep using present tense, and that should be fine with you. in part one, there are several things which you discussed. You originally from West Java and then moving to Central Java, and then which needs to be discussed using past tense. But overall, tenses and grammar is fine, I think. If you ask for my comments would be, I do agree with your comments about being hesitation. Hesitations is not only shown in the pause, which I think the pause is okay. It is more prevalent in your choice of vocabulary. For example, when I ask you about your hometown, you say, I don't follow up the information very much about that, indicating that the speaker do not really know about the topic. So maybe you can change it a little bit. You are not sure about something, but then you want to indicate that you somehow understand.
Okay.
Another thing, for example, when you talk about the Royal Palace, when it was created, and you said, I don't know when it was created, but I think it's maybe 600 years old and so on. Just be specific. To not say that I don't know. I think it's about 600 years old, something like that. Or even you can mention the century, for example. It is built in around 15th century. So it's around. Could be 16, could be 14th century, and so on. Just around. That will be easier, Ibu. Just work around in that particular things. Beberapa bagian di sini saya switch ke bahasa Indonesia biar lebih mudah. Beberapa di sini itu agak sering menunjukkan bahwasanya speaker kadang-kadang kelihatan dia itu tidak benar-benar paham terkait topik yang dibicarakan. Yang terakhir ketika saya juga tanya tentang history itu selain belajar di kelas, di mana lagi gitu. Tadi ada I'm not sure karena saya bukan expert di bidang ini, tapi menurut saya seperti ini. It's better just to give your claim. In my opinion or in my humble opinion daripada not sure kayak gitu. We want to be honest, but then sometimes it can have like negative impressions towards the examiner. So just changing the words, basically changing the words, it will be helpful.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm having a running nose. Another thing, in some cases, when you talk about particular topics, it will be easier for you if you have like example. Misalkan tadi Ibu bilang, saya dulunya tinggal di Jawa Barat, terus kemudian pindah ke Jawa Tengah, dan di situ tuh perbedaannya signifikan, cultural differences-nya. Nah, itu mungkin harus disebutin satu contoh. Itu akan membantu daripada kita hanya mengklaim apa ya cultural difference for the examiner. Bagi mereka mungkin Central Java sama apa ya Central Java dengan West Java itu nggak begitu berbeda, atau mereka nggak ngerti, jadi kita perlu ngasih contoh sedikit kayak gitu aja. Bahasanya beda kayak gitu misalkan. Cara apa ya bergaulnya beda kayak gitu, ibu bisa nyebutin sedikit gitu, tidak harus spesifik, tapi at least ada sesuatu exemplified ini. Alright, itu saja Ibu. I think a lot potential can be discovered from your speaking. I think you improve a lot compared to the pretest. I think I got some data from other lecturers as well. Jadi Ibu sudah ada improvement banyak. Cuman nanti mungkin tinggal menutup beberapa bolong-bolong terkait pemilihan kata, terus kemudian being a bit more detail. And after that, everything will be fine with you. All right, itu saja Ibu. Any question for me?
Not yet, maybe
Okay.
later in class.
Okay, thank you so much, Ibu Ayu. Okay,
Thank you for
see you again in class. Have a good
Okay.
day. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Good morning, sir. Maaf,
Morning.
izin kamera sinyalnya jelek.
Oh, it's okay. Good morning, Ibu Elizabeth.
Good morning, Mr.
Okay,
Nana.
yeah. So Ibu, we will have a short practice, speaking practice, just progress test, making sure that this is everyone is on the right track, and so we can be informed if there are some things which we will need to improve, making sure that everyone will succeed with their IELTS speaking test. All right, Ibu, we will do like a short practice test. Sorry, just like similar practice test like IELTS test. And then after that, we will discuss a little bit, just quick discussion on these results. Okay, so I will have part one, part two, and part three for you. With part one, it's short discussion. You will need to answer the question related to yourself, introduction of yourself, and some basic questions related to it. Part two, I will give you a topic, and then you will have 1 minute to prepare for the topic, and then 2 minutes for describing the topic. If necessary, question will be given, but if not, we can just directly go to part three. In part three, there will be some questions, abstract questions related to part two. Those are our plans. And it should take about 15 to 20 minutes. Ibu. All right. So, any question first, Ibu?
Not yet, sir.
Right. So, I still have cue card 2, 3, and 5. Which one do you choose?
Two.
Okay. Cue card 2. Okay. So, this is basically just a random selection. Don't worry too much. Okay,
Okay.
so I will put a timer here. Make yourself as comfortable as possible.
Okay.
Part one will be about 4 to 5 minutes. Some question in part one. Ibu, could you introduce yourself?
Okay, thank you for your time. My name is Elizabeth Kartikasari, but you can call me Ibet. I'm originally from Madiun, the small city in East Java, but for now I live and work in Bali because I work in Polytechnic Negeri Bali at the tourism department. I have one sister and she lives in Jakarta. My mom and my dad live and work in Madiun, my hometown. And I like to travel, read the novel, and also watch film. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Ibu. You have discussed a little bit about your hobbies as well, but can you give more discussion? Can you give more description? What kind of hobbies do you have?
Okay. Actually, I work as an Indonesian civil servant in Polytechnic Negeri Bali as an academic staff administration. Usually, I work for my lecturer and help my stakeholder to put administrative tasks such as presents and also make some decision later. And also, I like to help my lecturer to input student presents to the system. Thank you, sir.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Ibu, what do you do in your spare time?
Usually, I watching movies or maybe just strolling around or go to gym because I like to go to the gym and doing weightlifting during my leisure time, or maybe just sit on my bed and watching series such as Western or Korean dramas.
Okay. All right. Do you prefer, when you are free, Ibu, generally, do you prefer to be with a group of people or to be alone?
To be honest, I prefer to be alone because I'm introvert person and I'm a lone wolf. So I think it's more convenient for me to just sit by myself in the cafe or maybe at my home and watching my favorite film or also listening my favorite music and get some leisure time with myself.
Okay. What kind of music do you listen to?
Usually English music such as pop My favorite
Oh,
singer is Taylor Swift because I
okay.
think she is genius. She have a lot of experience and she can able to make the good lyrics and with the beautiful rhythms.
And then, in addition to your spare time, how do you spend your weekend usually?
Usually I go to the gym and watch my movie,
Okay.
my favorite movies. For now I'm watching Emily in Paris because it's interesting for me for watching this film because I
Okay.
think I can imagine how to live in the overseas, such as in Paris, in Chicago, or maybe in America. And I can learn their accent too, their gesture when they are talking to each other and learn some slangs and the other languages from this film.
Mhm. So are you interested in learning foreign language?
Yes, of course I do.
Yeah. What language, what foreign language do you learn or master so far?
So far, I think in English, but when I was in my university study,
Mhm.
I learned about Germany, French, and also Japanese and little bit Mandarin. But I
Okay.
think it's more difficult for me to understand those languages because
Okay.
they have because they have different languages and different voice, just like
Okay.
different spelling. Yes.
Okay. Um, do you interact a lot with people from those languages, Ibu?
Actually, yes. In
Okay.
Bali, I have some friends. They are
Uh-huh.
coming from French and also Netherlands,
Okay.
and some maybe USA. And I think it's good to make a good friendship
Uh-huh.
with them
Uh-huh.
because I can learn a lot from them.
All right. All right. That's all for part one, Ibu. Thank you so much. We
Thank you.
will move to part two. In part two, I will give you a topic, and then after that, you will have about 1 minute to prepare for the topic, and then after that, you can present it for about 2 minutes. Let me share the prompt. All right. So this is the prompt. I would like to ask you to describe a happy or successful person you know. You should say about who the person is, why the person is happy or successful, how you know this person, and explain also why you like this person. All right. So you will have 1 minute to prepare for this topic. 1 minute begins now. All right. Okay, Bu. Now I will give you about 2 minutes to talk about this topic.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, you can begin now.
Okay. Thank you for the time. For me, I would like to share about my mom, my biological mom. I think she is the kind person, the humble one, and happy person because she can taking care of me and my sister very well, and also she can understand about my father, about me and my sister. I think she is the happiest one in my family because almost every day she always smile and also taking care of us very well. For example, when I was in high school, I lost my shoes and my mom just said, okay, please wait for a moment. I will looking up for you. And just like I think 5 minutes later after that, I can uh, wear my shoes properly. And my mom is the good person, the superior one in my family, and I'm so adore her so much because she is able to raising me with my sister very well, even though she just graduated from the high school. She and my father can and able to raise me and my sister to the university life. And I'm so proud of her. And I think it's like, you know, I'm feeling over the moon when I think about her and my father. I think that's all. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. Next, we will continue to part three, Ibu. In part three, there will be some abstract questions related to part two.
Okay.
Second, let me start timer. All right, first questions. Do you want to be successful and why?
Of course, I want to because I want to make my parents proud of me. For example, when I'm graduated from the university life, my father told to me like, I'm so proud of you. You are the good girl. You are the good doctor for me. And I think it's little bit make my heart warm at the same times. And I want to cry when I remember about his words.
And then how do you think about success or happiness? What is being happiness and what could be the standard of being happiness for you?
Let me think about it first. I think according to my experience, the meaning of happy or success, I think when you can reach out about your dream goals, your life goals, and also you are feeling enough with what you have right now. And I think it's good for you to comparing yourself with your own self rather than with others people's.
Okay. And then can you be successful without money, Ibu?
I don't think so actually.
Okay.
Money is important, but I think the most important one is about our skill, especially soft skill. Because if you have a lot of money but you don't have ability to manage uh, those money, little bit hard for you to keeping up and managing your social skill and social life, and
Okay.
you're successful, of course.
Okay. Okay. What do you think would be the advantages and disadvantages of being famous or being successful?
According to my perspective, I think the benefit from being famous person is everybody knows about you.
Mhm.
Just like when you go to somewhere, some people will take the picture with you, or
Right.
also they will curious about your life. But on the other hand, there is negative impact too, such as when you go to somewhere, they will take picture with you and then they will gossip about your life. They will curious about your life and talk it with the other people. And for some persons, just like artists, I think
Mhm.
they are they are just like have a good life, the perfect life, but we don't know about the deeper of their life, and it's easier for us to judging them rather than the common people.
Okay. Why do you think most people want to be famous, want to be well known?
I think because if you get famous, everybody knows about you. it's easier for you to have a social status, and it's easier for you to have a lot of benefits, such as you can go to anywhere with fast track, or also everybody know about you and want to be friends with you.
Okay. All right. That's all I think, Ibu, for part three. Okay. So,
Thank you, sir.
yeah, thank you so much. Just this brief discussions. If you are asked to assess yourself, Ibu, what do you think is your strength from that performance just now?
I can I can speak about my personal details, but
Hmm.
lack of my experience or my jobs.
Okay. What do you mean by bad luck? Oh,
I think I can explain more about my
right.
jobs
Right. Okay.
and my duties
Yes, yes. The topic is related to it, so it's a bit easier, I think. What else? Anything else, Ibu?
from the part 1, part 2, and part 3, sir.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Uh, I have the main idea on my brain, but I
Uh-huh.
can explain it very well. And also, sometimes I forgot about the tenses. Just like
Mm,
when I
mm,
talk about the past tense, usually I talk it
mm,
with the
mm.
present or the future tense.
Okay, true. All right. I do agree with that particular points. Um, and now moving to your weakness, you yourself, what do you think your weakness would be if you were asked to self-assess
Grammatical range
grammatically?
of
Okay.
vocabularies and also forgetting the tenses.
Okay, about the tenses. Okay.
Forget the tenses.
Yeah. I do agree with many of your comments. You already are able to answer all the questions briefly, which is really good. Not making descriptions too long. Otherwise, it will be difficult for the examiner to follow your discussion. So basically, giving them a brief answer would be fine, and it's good strategy. They like something brief, but then maybe you need to add more details. So these are both your strength and weakness. Strengthnya menurut saya itu tadi, Ibu bisa menjawab dengan apa ya akurat dan pendek sehingga cocok untuk jawaban itu. Cuma beberapa mungkin perlu untuk diberi contoh misalkan.
Mhm.
Contohnya misalkan eh tadi contohnya misalkan sebentar. Tadi tentang ibu sudah ada contoh misalkan. Cuma yang mungkin tadi misalkan kaitannya dengan mendengarkan musik ataupun film, ada satu contoh yang disebutkan terkait filmnya itu. Itu yang mungkin sedikit perlu elaborasi saja.
Yes,
Kadang-kadang tidak harus ada contoh, but you need to elaborate a little bit more about this one. So, for example, the success, you have three criteria of success. First, reaching out your life goal, having enough with what you have, and then comparing just with yourself, not with others. And then you need to slightly highlight in something like related to it. Or, for example, other question related to advantage and disadvantage of being famous.
yes,
For example, if you want to show that there is a negative side of being famous, maybe if you still have energy to think about it, mention an example. Ini nih artis ini nih stres karena terlalu banyak orang yang paparazzi yang mengikuti and so on, semacam itu. It will be that's what I mean by elaboration or example. Uh, if if can improve your case better, then you can use that. Just a second. Next, I do agree about the grammar, but it is not the tenses, I think, but it's more like grammar sentence structure. Misalkan
yes,
tensesnya menurut saya tadi sudah normal semuanya, Ibu. Cuman mungkin beberapa yang urutan kalimatnya misalkan seperti langsung tiba-tiba tadi ada misalkan little bit with apa kayak gitu tadi ngomongin ketika setelah membicarakan tentang comparing yourself, comparing with yourself, not with others, terus kemudian little bit with bla 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 bla, tanpa subjek verbnya nggak ada gitu. Misalkan I'm little bit apa nervous dengan apa kayak gitu. Itu kadang-kadang terpotong-potong itunya saja. Jadi kalau
Ya,
tensesnya sudah normal menurut saya. Cuma strukturnya. To make it easier, try to train from now. Try to train when you speak. Always use subject, verb, object. Especially when you answer the question, it will help you deal with that one. Terus vocabulary-nya sudah oke sebenarnya. Expression tadi ibu pakai misalkan it makes my heart warm, I'm feeling over the moon, itu sudah cukup oke untuk menggambarkan bahwasanya vocabnya sudah bagus. Yang mungkin masih kurang mungkin ke pronunciation, pelafalannya
ya,
saja ibu. Jadi bukan vocabnya. Contohnya misalkan harness, ya itu honest,
Panas.
honest, terus gesture, harusnya gesture
Oke.
gesture rather than gesture.
Ya.
Jadi mungkin yang perlu dipoles sebenarnya kalau dari tadi apa ya review singkatnya lebih ke vocabnya, sorry bukan vocabnya, pronunciationnya sama struktur kalimatnya kalau misalkan yang teknis. Kalau
ya,
kaitannya dengan konten, ibu sudah bagus jawaban-jawabannya itu eh, apa ya kreatif dan bagus misalkan seperti Ibu bisa dalam waktu yang sangat singkat menentukan sukses itu kayak gimana standarnya. Ada 3 standar tadi, kayak gitu. Walaupun tidak disebutin 1, 2, 3, tapi sudah disebutin apa saja standarnya. Dan itu sudah bagus. Menurut saya itu bagus sekali. Cuma yang mungkin kurang lebih ke kita butuh sedikit mengelaborasi. Biar
ya,
tidak usah terlalu panjang, tapi yang penting dijelaskan. Contohnya seperti gambaran tadi yang barusan ini yang part 3 itu saya 3 menit 50 detik itu sudah selesai 5 pertanyaan. If you can expand a little bit, mungkin 5 pertanyaan itu bisa apa ya? 5 pertanyaan bisa 5 menit atau 4 menit sekian kayak gitu. Artinya ibu masih punya apa ya? Sisa waktu untuk dijelaskan lebih sedikit, ditambah sedikit. So,
ya.
jangan terlalu terburu-buru mengakhiri kalimatnya. Maybe you can explore a little bit. That's my idea, I think. Alright, itu saja Ibu review saya. You show us a really good example of how part one, part two, and part three. So thank you so much. Keep up with the good work, Ibu. I'm pretty
Thank
sure
you,
that
sir.
you will have like a really good score later on if you can keep improving your speaking. Itu saja.
Amin.
Ada pertanyaan?
Ah, sir, kadang kan
Ya,
saya sudah punya main ID-nya, cuman kadang
betul,
kalau kita, maksudnya kan awalnya udah bagus nih pronounce-nya, cuman
betul.
kadang ketika sudah masuk ke second or third question, itu tuh jadi kayak ngeblank. Itu gimana ya caranya menanganinya? Karena nervous itu tadi.
Sebenarnya harus ada apa ya notes. Eh, untuk part 2 gampang ya, ada take notes waktu untuk take notes. Kalau part 1 sama part 3 lebih sulit. Uh, the idea would be to not talk about too many topics. It is better to talk about one topic but in more detail rather than to talk about many topics. To avoid having uh, um, like gap, blank, losing your idea and so on. Jadi misalnya seperti sukses tadi kriteria ibu, ini sekedar approach lain ya. Eh,
Ya,
agar tidak gampang lupa, mungkin ibu fokus 2 hal saja, misalkan 2 hal yang terpenting kayak gitu, daripada ngomongin 3 atau 4 kriteria. Nanti awalnya ingat, terus kemudian tiba-tiba lupa nanti belakangan semacam itu. Seperti ngomongin tentang ibu tadi itu benar-benar deskripsinya jelas detail. Ibu itu orang yang paling bahagia di tempat kami, paling mengerti saya sama ayah saya, adik saya. Terus kemudian dia ibu itu superior. Terus kemudian ada yang keempat itu poinnya adalah eh, eh, bukan Bu Eli apa Bu Ibet bangga terhadap ibunya. Ada 4 topik. Kalau
iya.
misalkan kita fokus ke 2 atau 3 saja, potensi untuk mengembangkan lebih besar dan potensi untuk tidak lupa itu lebih besar daripada untuk membicarakan 4 topik eh, yang berbeda-beda. But at least for your speed you are fine. Bahkan mungkin bisa agak dinaikin sedikit-sedikit kalau misalkan temponya sudah oke dan sudah banyak vocabulary-nya later on. Tetapi sementara speed-nya sudah cukup oke menurut saya.
Okay,
Oke.
thank you, sir,
Yap, yap,
for your.
sama-sama Ibu. Alright. Kadang-kadang saya misalkan dulu kalau misalkan tes itu kadang-kadang kalau misalkan part 1 sama part 3 kan nggak bisa sambil nulis-nulis kayak gitu. Jadi
Ya,
biasanya saya cuma mainkan jari saja. Misalkan, oke, saya punya 3 poin. Jadi saya jari itu saya pegang tiga semacam ini. Sehingga saya tidak lupa bahwasanya saya akan menyebutkan 3 poin atau 2 poin misalnya seperti itu. Um, Maybe this model would be different from your way of memorizing things. Mungkin ibu punya model yang berbeda juga terkait itu. Yang penting dieksplor lagi saja.
Baik, nanti saya
Alright,
coba lagi.
yes, yes. I see a lot of potential from your speaking performance. That's all, Ibu. Thank you so much, Bu.
Thank you, Mr. Nana, for your
Sama-sama.
feedback.
Sama-sama. See you.
See you, sir.
Yep, see you. Bye-bye.
Morning, sir.
Oke, morning Ibu. Um, Halo Bu Erlin.
Halo, Pak.
All right, so Ibu, we will have speaking practice for today, just a progress speaking practice. We will make a simulations of IELTS speaking test. It will consist of part one, part two, part three speaking practice. It should take about 15 minutes for the test, and then it is followed by a short discussions, probably discussing the results and then things we can improve or we should avoid from this topic. Is it okay with you?
Yeah.
Right. Thank you so much. So I prepare some topics quite similar to IELTS speaking simulation. We still have topic number three and number four. Number four. Yes. Which one do you think you want to choose? Three or four?
I think it's three.
Okay, number three. All right. Let me share my screen as well, just to make a timer, making sure that we can track the timing. Just a second. All right. Are you ready, Ibu?
Yes, ready now.
Okay.
Has to be ready.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Ibu Erlin, can you introduce yourself first?
Okay, sir, thank you. My name is Erlin Rosalina. You can call me Erlin or Lina, and someone also call me Rosa. So
Um,
mostly people always call me Erlin.
okay.
Now I live in Jakarta, but I was born in Solo, and I work as a lecturer in Politeknik Negeri Jakarta,
Okay.
and I teach about bahasa Indonesia.
Okay. Okay. Right. I would like to ask some question related to your reading, Ibu. What kind of books do you like to read in your spare time?
Actually, I don't like reading too much. Why I have to say that? Because sometimes reading makes me boring,
Uh-huh.
and after that, I also like sleep. So I never end my book
Uh-huh.
to read. And then if you ask me about the favorite one, I have one novel that I love when I was in bachelor degree program.
Okay.
The novel is about the Dead Society,
Okay.
and it is written by Dostoevsky.
Okay.
It's a Russian novelist,
Right.
and he is very popular or famous at
Right.
the moment.
Right. Okay. In addition to reading novel, anything else you read before? Probably other thing.
Uh, I just read like newspaper,
Mhm.
but in online media.
Can you explain a little bit about your online newspaper reading?
Mostly I read in Kompas newspaper, and then I always there is a feature about humanities and societies. I always not really always, not, it seldom for me to read that, but when I read newspaper, I choose to read Kompas,
Mhm.
the title of the newspaper, Kompas, and then mostly I just read about the column. The column is humanities column.
Okay. Okay. Right. Um, so have you ever discussed your reading with someone else?
Mm, not really,
Okay. Okay.
because actually I have another hobby.
Mhm.
It is
about music. So I have community about music. So I often to discuss about music, not my reading.
Right. Okay. Is reading popular in your country with young people?
I think it's not.
Okay.
The you can see maybe about the data that Indonesia has lack of literacy. I think the main cause of the problem is like reading. Yeah, the
Okay.
most problem is from reading.
Okay.
So reading in Indonesia, I think is really maybe not really lowest, but I think lower than any other countries.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay. Right. And then what these young people are interested in?
They, for me, yeah, I think they like to have or to make a video, and then they use like social media to 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 upload that video.
Uh-huh.
Uh, uh, most people in younger now, I think they like to tend to use social media, then they have to read.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you so much, Ibu. That's for part one. Now we are moving to part two, Ibu.
Mhm.
And then in part two, you will be given a topic, and then you will have 1 minute to prepare for the topic. After preparing for the topic, then you can talk about this topic for about 2 minutes. I will stop you after 2 minutes. You may take notes if you wish to, and let me screen share the topic so you can prepare it better. Okay, right. It is shown in the screen share now. And I will give you 1 minute to prepare for this topic. 1 minute starts now. All right. Now I will share the timer so you can track your timing. I will give you 2 minutes to prepare, sorry, 2 minutes to talk about this topic. Describe the unnatural place where you can relax. Ibu, you may begin now.
Okay, where about the place that I can to be a relaxed person. The first one, no, no, I will tell about the one place that I like. It is located in Ancol, in the beach of Ancol. It's called Carnival Festival. The place name is Carnival Festival. I feel relaxed when I go or visit that place because there is one moment, or there is one event at the time that was called concert. Yeah, concert. It was called like this festival concert, and it held in Festival Beach Ancol. So I visited there because I like to sing and then dance together with my friends. Also, because of the musician is mostly from 90s musicians, so I can really enjoy to go to that event. And for me, somehow maybe people will try to visit uh, the relaxing place like in mountain and then in like bookstores maybe. But somehow for me, I like to visit a concert, a lot of concert because I think it's a memorable time and then I can release my stress when I enjoying my concert at the moment. That's
Okay.
all.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ibu. Now we are moving to part three, Ibu. Okay, so I will have like several questions, and it's about 4 to 5 minutes time. And then these questions are abstract questions, probably related to the previous questions. I will begin now. So first question, we discussed about natural places before. What is dangerous in natural places? What dangerous thing can you find in natural places?
Okay. What dangerous thing? If you go to the forest, you can see, like wild animals. Uh, if we don't aware to, the character of animals, I think it will be dangerous for
Mm.
you. And then the second one is about uh, the weather. It is
Mhm.
also important for me because if you go to some place that and then the weather is not really good for you, like you can go to the beach and then there is a thunder suddenly, it is also will be dangerous.
Okay. Okay. Next questions. Now I will change slightly the questions. What is or what are dangerous thing to natural places? What threatens the natural places?
Mm. I'm sorry, sir. Would you try to explain again?
What could threaten the natural places? What could endanger natural places, Ibu?
Oh, okay. Maybe the action or activities of people
Mhm.
can change the natural. Uh, I think the first one is the activities like, for instance, like we usually throw the rubbish in many places, and then the second one, mostly in Jakarta, as I know,
Mhm.
there are a lot of people to there's a lot of people like to throw the rubbish in the river and then can make impact for the flood things. And this is the biggest problem in Jakarta especially. So a lot of people like to throw the rubbish into the river, and then the river will always give a flood to them. So it will be impact to the person also, to the people also. So mostly from activities of people that
Mhm.
can cause problems into natural.
Right. So we are talking about the garbage and other pollution now. Do you think what kind of pollution is the public most concerned about in your country?
Okay, I think there's a lot of pollution that we have to face in this country. The first thing or the little thing that we always see in in our surrounded, like air pollution from people who likes to smoke, and then this is the simple thing I think, yeah. But this is will cause a lot of big troubles because it can impact to our health. Like sometimes I don't like my friends who smokes in front of me. Mostly I always remind him to not smoke in front of me because I don't enjoy I don't enjoy that air pollution, but
Okay.
he is but he is enjoying that smoking. I think like that.
Yep, yep. What is your attitudes towards environmental preservation?
Uh, the first one, I think I will remind him so about his activity or their activity, especially in smoking, like I said before. And then but the problem is our society is not really concerned about that. They think that smoking is not it's good, not really bad. You smoke, you will die after that. But the first one, I will remind him or them, and then the second one, maybe we have to make a regulation to to smoke in some places, and they have to follow that regulation. I mean, the smokers must
Uh-huh.
follow the regulation.
Okay.
I think like that.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Ibu. I already recorded several points in your answers. Baik, Ibu Erlin, if you are asked to self assess your own performance in part one, part two, and part three, what do you think is your strength? Is or are your strengths?
Mm, my strength. I don't really know about that actually.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Uh,
maybe
maybe
uh,
something you feel comfortable or something you feel you are doing good in that particular aspect. What could be?
mostly for the example.
Okay, example. Okay. And anything else, Ibu?
Hmm. I have a problem in explanation, I think.
Okay. It's more like, can you describe a little bit? What do you think the problem, your main problem with explanation?
I don't know. I just I like to say in point if there is
Uh-huh.
a problem, and then I jump to the example. So the explanation not really describe it a lot.
Okay. Okay. Elaboration, more like
Mhm.
elaboration is a bit short, do you think?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, in addition to the problem with the explanations, can you self-assess yourself? What could be your weakness from your part one, part two, and part three performance just now? Can you
Uh,
imagine, think about it?
okay. Sometimes I don't know how somehow when I talk and then
Uh-huh.
there is an idea,
Okay.
and then the idea will bikin ngeblur gitu loh Pak.
Betul, betul. Okay.
Um, so
Uh,
I don't focus with the topic that I prepared before.
okay. Okay. New idea. Okay. New emergent idea. Okay. Right. Something related to your new idea, emergent idea. I cannot see it in your speaking because everything is spoken, everything is produced. I don't know the how you're thinking or your notes, so I cannot detect it easily. So basically, because we are talking about something, a test like an IELTS test, so it is easier to just stick to your own plan. So first beginning plan, that's easier because you already think about it, rather than switching and making a gambling. Uh, Selecting new idea, it is always better to use your own plan, the one you have prepared before.
Mhm.
Second of all, regarding the elaboration, problem with the explanation and elaboration, I did not see it here. I think everything is normal. You mentioned enough elaboration, I think, Ibu. It is just sometimes just key information need to be accepted. I will give you a little bit of a review of that. Regarding examples, I do agree with your comments that you have given enough evidence and strong evidence to support your case. Something which probably I can suggest is that regarding the detail of the information which I just mentioned just now. For example, if you mention that you are moving, you are staying in Jakarta, you are from Solo, your examiner may not know where is Solo and Jakarta. So probably you can give context, slight context. I move from Solo. It is a city, small city, and move to Jakarta, the capital city of Indonesia. It is about, for example, 300, 500 kilometers away. So they get better sense, probably because not many people will understand where is Solo. It is also the same with Ancol. Except if the examiner would be Indonesian people familiar with Ancol. Otherwise, you need to give context. Ancol is a beach area next to Jakarta, for example, or in Jakarta. Just give like basic short description about it. It would be enough, Ibu.
Okay.
Things which I would suggest, mungkin yang terkait suggestionnya misalkan seperti ini. Statement semacam yang di awal ketika ibu ditanya what kind of book do you like to read in your spare time? Ibu jawabnya seperti ini. I don't like to read too much. I don't like to reading too much. I would suggest that you do not need to be too honest to the examiner because they give you a question, they expect to hear your answer related to that question. Daripada misalnya kita apa yang menjawab, saya sebenarnya nggak terlalu banyak nggak suka membaca, tapi ada sesuatu yang tadi siapa dari Dostoyevsky semacam itu. Nah, itu langsung point out ke situ aja langsung. What kind of book do you like to read in your spare time? I like reading misalkan novel. One of them is novel A from Dostoevsky and so on tadi seperti itu. Atau kalau misalkan ibu tadi sering baca online newspaper, tidak apa-apa itu. It doesn't have to be like physical book. Ibu bisa misalkan sebutin, I don't really read books. I don't really read a lot of book, but I do read ini. Jadi kita tetap, walaupun kita tidak mengcover jawab pertanyaan itu, karena pertanyaannya buku apa yang kamu baca, tapi minimal kita bisa membelokkan sedikit. Misalnya, saya nggak baca buku banyak, tapi saya baca koran online, semacam itu. That would be okay.
Okay.
Jadi seperti itu strateginya. Rather than misalkan, what kind of book do you like to read? Terus kemudian kita jawab, saya nggak suka baca buku. To be honest, saya nggak suka baca buku. Saya lebih suka misalkan music dan macam-macamnya. Mungkin ibu bisa channelkan dengan sesuatu yang saya suka baca buku pelajaran di bidang yang saya ajar kayak itu. That's okay. That should be fine too. Rather than being too honest sometimes because it just show that apa ya kita jujur ke mereka tapi mereka bisa jadi negatif gitu loh feelingnya terkait itu. Jadi it just comment little bit of comment. Uh, uh, Terus tadi ada pertanyaan yang kaitannya yang pertama itu pertanyaan-pertanyaan mayoritas itu kan kaitannya dengan bacaan-bacaan. Jadi kalau misalkan ibu mau menyebutkan tentang hobi, ibu itu menunjukkan bahwa hobi ibu itu tentang musik, terus kemudian mungkin itu bisa dichannelkan dengan bacaan tadi, Bu. Think
Okay.
about how we can do that. Mungkin saya suka nih baca lirik-lirik kayak gitu. Saya suka membaca lirik-lirik lagu sambil saya dengerin musik. Saya suka menghayati lirik lagu. That would be good, good additional informations to add.
Okay.
I do like the data of literacy. Misalkan pertanyaan terkait apakah reading itu populer, data dari literacy, misalkan problem with reading, macam-macam, semacam itu. Apa? Kalau misalkan bisa selain menjawab bahwasanya orang-orang muda di Indonesia nggak terlalu suka membaca, daripada menunggu dia memberi pertanyaan lagi, stok pertanyaan, kita jelasin langsung. Mereka tuh nggak suka membaca, buktinya dari data literasi seperti ini. Mereka itu sukanya ini loh, kayak gitu. Tadi saya ngasih tambahan pertanyaan, di list pertanyaan saya nggak ada, tapi saya kasih pertanyaan tambahan. Jadi mereka sukanya apa? Terus ibu tadi baru masuk lagi ke sosial media, mereka suka bikin video dan macam-macam. Nah, bisa jadi si si penanya itu nggak mau nambah pertanyaan ekstra. Jadi kita biar
Oh,
apa ya bisa menjawab pertanyaan itu. Jadi kita kasih jawaban juga. Karena pertanyaannya, apakah reading itu populer? Kayak gitu misalnya, enggak, orang Indonesia nggak suka reading. Mereka sukanya ini. Nah, kayak gitu. Jadi daripada si penanya harus menanya tambahan, mending kita jelasin. Mungkin ini yang kaitannya dengan elaborasi tadi, Bu. Yang mungkin
oh,
bisa kaitannya dengan elaborasi yang Ibu bilang masalah explanation itu seperti itu mungkin
iya benar,
idenya.
Pak. Iya.
Terus tadi yang ini yang mungkin di part 2 yang mungkin kurang kuat itu deskripsi natural place-nya, Bu. Ini sebentar
Oh iya
saya
benar.
ini karena pertanyaannya itu diminta untuk mendeskripsikan deskripsi natural place. Jadi goal utamanya Ibu adalah satu mendeskripsikan tempatnya dulu rather than
Mhm.
activity to make you relax. Tadi kan ada
Oh
festival, konser, dan macam-macam.
ya.
Itu oke,
Hmm.
tetapi itu bukan pertanyaan paling primer. Mungkin dijelasin dulu what kind of place-nya dulu. Jelasin deskripsi natural place-nya dulu.
Mhm.
Terus kemudian baru kemudian ibu bisa masuk di belakangan gitu, bisa masuk. Bahwasanya saya pernah menghadiri satu event musik yang bagus di sana. Tempatnya
Mhm.
natural, terus kemudian saya mendengarkan musik itu saya jadi sangat rileks kayak gitu. Jadi
Mhm.
karena ini pertanyaan-pertanyaan bawah, um, I think you need to deal more with description first of the
Mhm.
place,
Mhm.
and then followed by other thing, misalkan activity, music dan macam-macam. I really appreciate your description of carnival festival, concert, festival beach Ancol and so on. Tetapi you need to deal with the main question first before
Mhm.
jump to that one. I think it will make you easier answering with to succeed with that part 2. Terus
Oke.
part 3-nya sudah oke menurut saya Ibu terkait dangerous natural places dan seterusnya tadi tidak masalah. Eh, Mungkin yang mungkin agak kurang itu kaitannya tadi ini nomor pertanyaan nomor 2. What kind of pollution is the public most concerned about? Terus ibu menjawabnya, ibu tidak suka dengan orang yang merokok di sekitar ibu, kayak gitu. Boleh,
Mhm.
cuman mungkin kalau misalkan mau melihat ini ya pertanyaannya mungkin belum sangat akurat di situ menjawabnya. Karena kita ngomongin tentang orang merokok terkait saya, gitu. Mungkin orang lain itu bukan yang paling concern utamanya bukan terkait rokok, tapi public. Because the question is about the public, orang-orang secara umum sukanya yang mana. Nah,
Mhm.
anyway, those are thing. Untuk vocabulary, saya pikir sudah cukup oke, Bu. Grammar sudah lumayan oke, pronunciation juga oke. Mungkin cuma itu tadi, akurasi ketika menjawab pertanyaan. Kadang-kadang
Mhm.
ada yang bagian ketika penjelasan itu jadi tidak bisa menjawab secara apa ya sangat akurat gitu loh. Jadi hanya sedikit menyentuh gitunya yang mungkin kita perlu latih lagi. And I'm
Oke.
pretty sure you have a lot of potential in it because for me, I'm feeling that when you talk using English, you are really it's not flawless, but it's really good for me to listen to you, and it's really clear.
Oh
So
iya.
should be easy, I think, to
Oh.
just polish several aspects. All right, itu saja Ibu. Any
Oke.
question for me?
Kalau masalah fluensi gimana, Pak? Kayaknya tadi saya agak
Fluensinya,
stuck gitu.
fluensinya sudah oke kok Ibu menurut saya.
Oh iya. Saya mikirnya masih agak stuck deh. Kadang saya mikir ke grammar juga sih, Pak. Jadi lagi mikirin
Beberapa
grammarnya gitu.
iya betul betul beberapa pertanyaan itu sudah cukup banyak, contohnya misalkan yang part 3 ya, ini saya
Mhm.
kan juga sempat nanya ini dua pertanyaan ini, jadi tadi ada tiga pertanyaan ini sama saya tambahkan satu lagi karena jawabannya waktu itu belum akurat. Contohnya yang pertama, what is
Mhm.
dangerous to natural places. Apa sih yang berbahaya untuk natural places, terus kemudian Ibu menjawabnya tentang situasi di hutan sama cuaca, misalkan ada petir kayak. Nah,
Hmm.
itu belum akurat. Makanya saya tambahi pertanyaan lagi, eh, eh, yang berbahaya, yang membahayakan natural places seperti apa. Jadi tadi sudah menjawab, misalkan dalam waktu 5 menitan itu sudah bisa menjawab 4 pertanyaan, itu sudah cukup oke untuk apa ya, length sama fluensinya sudah cukup oke. Except itu tadi akurasi saja mungkin yang kita perlu polish lagi.
Mhm. Kadang tuh saya nggak terlalu paham sama promnya itu loh, Pak.
True.
Ini kayak kebalik ya. Kalau ini kan what is dangerous to natural places, berarti kan
Yang
ke
membahayakan.
prosesnya.
Betul.
Ya kan?
Um,
Nggak ke
that's
saya.
ya ya that's normal.
Itu
Cuma
kebalik.
kita memang menjaga-jaga apa ya, berjaga-jaga agar apa ya, bisa jadi kadang orang itu kalau misalnya ada pertanyaan examiner, some examiner, when they give questions and the candidates do not understand, they will repeat the question using other phrases. Some others
Mhm.
would just okay, pas ini nggak ngerti nih pertanyaan saya, langsung apa, gagal di bagian tersebut. Jadi kita cuma berjaga-jaga saja mungkin. If you aren't really not sure, maybe you can ask him or her once or twice, sesekali saja tanya, tapi jangan terlalu sering bertanya untuk mengklarifikasi pertanyaan di mereka. Kalau memang benar-benar kita nggak paham, bisa sekali saja tanya. Maksudnya gimana? Gitu. Maksud Anda apakah yang membahayakan untuk ini ya, gitu. Just to make sure that we can cover the task given by them.
Oke.
Alright, Ibu, sepertinya sudah cukup untuk apa, exercise hari ini. Congratulations. I see a lot of potential in your performance. I'm hoping that you can improve really well during the rest of the exercise sessions.
Kalau band score kira-kira berapa, Pak?
Ini saya belum ngitung.
Oke.
Mungkin nggak detail melihat apa ya, nggak detail melihat apa apa guideline-nya, tetapi overall mungkin kalau 7 belum bisa karena ada itu tadi inakurasinya masih belum. Terus mungkin term-term yang mungkin perlu muncul kaitannya, misalkan berbicara tentang natural places, terus kemudian buku sama itu tadi belum banyak, Bu. Kasih tambahan dikit lagi. Mungkin apa ya, natural places berarti scenery, term-term yang spesifik dengan itu yang mungkin perlu dimunculkan. Scenery, keindahan alam, terus apa ya? Kalau pantai berarti kemudian suasananya. Kalau misalkan buku berarti mungkin selain
Isinya.
term ya, selain term masalah reading sama nama-nama judul buku, mungkin kaitannya dengan apa ya? Konten, meaning, message dan macam-macam. Clue semacam itu perlu sering dimunculkan. Kalau untuk kita bisa dapat 7 indicating that we are suitable with band 7. Right. But you have a lot potential. Don't worry too much. Okay. That's all, Ibu Erlin. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your participation.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Sama-sama, sama-sama,
Sama.
Ibu. Oke. Have a great weekend, Ibu.
Ya, saya keluar dulu ya, Pak.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Mm.